Good afternoon, everyone. It's kind of dark in here. Hang on just a second. There we go. Hey. Amazing what a little bit of light can do, folks. Uh, I'm doing this live stream off of YouTube. I'm not doing it through StreamYard or anything like that. So I won't be able to really, share screens too much. At least I don't believe so. But, folks, look, I don't know where you live, but it is going to be, hey, Scott, what's going on? Um, it's gonna be ugly hot where we are. Actually, you know what? While I'm online, I'll just do a quick poll here. Uh, what's your temps? Under 80. Hello, hello, folks. I'm just curious. I think 100 degrees is around 40 centigrade. I might be wrong. Hey, what's going on? Oh, now I can't see the chat. That was a good job, Pete. Yeah, I win. Hey, Suburban, Tony, Virginia Bushcrafter. Good to see you. Yard Dog, Devil Dog. And Devil Dog, I got your email. Thank you, sir. Suburban Hillbilly supposed to be around 100 a few days. Uh, it's gonna be. So I was supposed to. I have my. You notice I have my shooting shirt on. I usually wear camo, not because it's hunting, because I'm shooting like ceramic discs, right? I'm not hunting anything, but if I get dirty out there, I trip and fall. I kind of am camo, so nobody notice. But we were supposed to shoot just a practice round this afternoon, and my buddy calls and goes, "Dude, it's not getting cooler. We thought there was a front coming in. It would be, 80, 90. We'll shoot all day and 90 out here." No. Right now, we're estimating it's 100 now. It's supposed to get 105. They said the same yesterday, went to 114 yesterday. So this is like death hot. Like you're gonna get sick. Hey Scott, hold on, I missed a few people here. Royal Lioness, hello, hello everyone from Southwest Arkansas. Had a light rain this morning. Canning dill pickles. That's cool. Hey Irishman, what's going on? Allergies are also miserable. Yes, 72 now. Would you live kind of on the coast and north, Tony? Don't you, if I recall correctly? Oh, hey, don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. What's going on? Um, Guys, it's going to be ugly hot, ladies and gentlemen. And this wasn't my typical night. I sometimes do a Friday live if they cancel my meetings early. But I gotta tell you, it's we were like, yeah, no, we just don't need to uh, go and Skeeter killer. LOL. I'm reporting to you from to the people for the ethical treatment of clay. I'm telling you, Skeet killer. Uh, the weather out here is 100 plus. This is day God 7, 8. We're gonna have a total of, yeah, 102 heat index, 109. And yeah, Washington State's nice. Hey Joe, what's going on? Um, Folks, be careful. This kind of stuff, you will get very sick very, very quickly. And if you do, you it's one of those, hey, Victoria, how are you? New Mexico's always in the hundreds. Yeah, well, I'm in West Texas, so yeah, I'm right there with you, Victoria. Just so you guys. By the way, for those of you who are content creators, I do those polls, and then I copy and paste it on, and that's a habit because in StreamYard you can't see the poll results, and then when you play it back, sometimes you can't see it. So I want to make sure people, if they watch the video tomorrow, they can see. Um, so let's see. It's so 25% are over 100, another 33% are over 90. So over half of us, actually, that's damn near 60%, 58, 50, yeah, 58% of us will be over 90 degrees. And then another 33% are over 8. So that's 80. That's hot. I've had heat exhaustion. It's not anything you want to experience. I can't imagine heat stroke. I've got heat exhaustion as well, and that'll mess you up for days. Like it's like a bad hangover backwards. I can't even describe the unhappy that you get. In Chicago for softball tournament, supposed to be around 85, 90. See, and 80, 70 to 95 down here is not uncommon, and most people can handle it very well. But this 100 and that's a special kind of heat after 103. It's just ugly hot. And because there's very little trees out here, right? It's not like oaks and pines and very high trees where you get shade. It's a lot of flatland. The Victoria from New Mexico would probably understand. And it's flat. So you get this hot wind coming from Arizona and New Mexico across West Texas, and it's dry. So you don't feel the sweat, right? Any liquid that comes out of you goes straight into the atmosphere. I had a dear friend pass from heat stroke. Not a pretty sight. No, no, it is not. Bad hangover backwards is the best way to describe heat exhaustion. Yeah, it honestly, I don't know how to explain it otherwise. I've got a new. Irishman, Virginia needs your contact info. Ontario, how are you? 87, not bad, but that is warm for that part of the world. So yeah, it can get ugly. It could put you in the hospital. It could kill you. And Victoria, yes, I work in the energy sector, and we've got our safety guy is making rounds of uh, of locations, trying to tell people, hey, make sure you have enough water, you have enough. Um, and another thing he pointed out, and I thought it was really good, so I'll share it with you. He said, make sure to eat. Because he said what he's seen a few guys do, they've gotten sick, they dropped out, as Victoria points out. They they're drinking water, but they're not either getting electrolytes or they're not eating. And your body's burning a lot more calories than it normally does. And what winds up happening is you get sick because you're not eating enough. You're not giving yourself the other nutrients besides just the water. And that will absolutely kick your butt. So make sure you're getting your granolas in, you're getting whatever it is, um, a little bit of salt, and be careful if you're salt sensitive. See, and that becomes dangerous because you have to have some salt in your system. So if you're salt sensitive, you got to ride a fine line between uh, adding electrolytes and making yourself sick in the other direction. So you may want to talk to a doctor or trainer. Safety guy probably have some good suggestions. But I want to go through some symptoms, causes of heat stroke. Let me see if I can find the image because there was a great one. Okay, so heat exhaustion. I'm just going to list them out for you since I can't unfortunately share the picture. But I tell you what I will do. I will put it in the chat for you guys. Oh, good, Ontario. I'm glad to hear it. Would suck if grid went down. Dangerous. No, that's the truth. And the worst times for the grid to go down would be in this kind of heat or in the dead of winter when it's minus 20. That'll kill people too. Short man syndrome. Oh my. Hey, Dominic. Wait, who had short man syndrome? Absolutely lost. Hey, KP, what's going on? So you could look at that link. I'll read it out to you in case you're not where you can look at it. So heat exhaustion and heat stroke are different. Exhaustion, you'll be faint or dizzy, excessive sweating, so you will see the sweat. The skin gets cool, pale, or clammy, as they say. You'll have nausea, rapid, weak pulse, and you start getting muscle cramps. Uh, the steps for that: get to a cooler, air conditioned place, drink water, take a cool shower, not cold because you put someone in shock like that. Cool or at least room temperature, something cooler than the 105. So, even tap water would probably be cool at that point. Heat stroke is different. You get headache, you stop sweating, the body temperature goes over 103, and you get red hot skin. You also get nausea and vomiting, but the pulse becomes very rapid and strong, and they start either becoming disoriented or they lose consciousness. Um, That kind of stuff will kill someone. I'll be honest with you, and not this is not fear mongering. This is just a fact. Um, it will. Hey, Lucky, what's going on? Yeah, and Joe's right. When you stop sweating, you really, really have a problem. You've really gotten to a point where your body is going to affect. And even if you recover, I felt like not on a parade square. I can come. Yeah, and it can come over you. I'm sorry, I was the chat kind of jumped on me. Yeah, Suburban's right. It can come very quickly. One way to deal with it if you are working outside is to have a buddy system. The military does it, sports do it, right? They have the trainers, so when like football, the kids are playing and the coach will call a break, everyone comes in, takes off their helmet, and the coaches and the trainers, the medical people can look at each person and make sure they're okay. Um, I had a colleague go play golf yesterday in the 100 and something. He played from noon until 4, and it was 112 when they finally called it. Um, he said he had a couple of beers, and he said that wasn't smart, but he said he drank about 20 waters, and he said, "I can promise you I did not pee for 5 hours at all." He said, "I got home and didn't need to pee." It wasn't until the evening where he had to go urinate. So, you should also be peeing. That's an indicator. If you're drinking a lot and nothing's coming out, it's basically leaving your body. You're probably a bit behind on your hydration. So, folks, in this weather, this is not a joke. This will absolutely mess you up if you don't uh, do the right things. It could very easily kill you. So it's a good it's a good time to just say, hey, you know what? Now I need to take a break. Um, if you're gonna work in the yard, actually, a few of you guys have reached out to me late yesterday. I never replied to the text. I was actually working in the yard after the sun went down. Um, where I'm at in Texas, at 8:45 p.m., almost 9 o'clock, it was still 101. We did not get below 100 until almost midnight. In the morning, it was about 74. It was kind of nice. And we are already at 102 to 103 at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Sorry. So and now it's going to really get hot. So, hey, book club, what's going on? I've had heat exhaustion and just stopped sweating when a friend realized it got me indoors. Seeing Lucky, that's the kind of stuff you get so disoriented, you don't realize you're not well. And if it's not for another person, you can wind up sick. So it's old dude drop over dead in the bar when being out in the heat too long. Yeah. Um, and consuming alcohol and not consuming water. So if you are going to a barbecue, you're going out to cook, make sure that you alternate, right? There's nothing wrong, especially out here. You have a beer and you have, or drink and you have water, or you have a Topo Chico or something, a soda, something like a Sprite, something clear that will hydrate you. Um, yeah, kids and elderly are at risk, especially the old folks. Um, folks, and check on each other when you're out and about. Yeah, I love Topo Chico. I do too. I buy them by the case at this point. I stopped drinking sodas and then I started again. And the minute I did that, I not only gained weight, I started getting the what do you call like the acid reflux, stomach fell awful. I had cramps, and I was like, okay, obviously my body does not like soda anymore. Hey, Caribbean House, Angie, welcome. Um, but I wanted a soda, so I wound up getting these puppies. I love these bottles. I got to find a way to reuse these because these are cool. But in any case, even that mineral water has a little bit of sodium, some other minerals in there. Um, that's not bad. A drink that got really popular in this part of Texas, and Lucky may have heard of it, is called ranch water, which is basically a shot of tequila or two, lime, lime juice, and then seltzer water or Topo Chico. So basically, it's a seltzer and tequila or seltzer and vodka with fruit juice, but not sweet. It's kinda actually bland. But, it's actually become one of the popular drinks this summer because 'cause you're hydrating while you're drinking, which kinda sounds contradictory, but, it seems to work. Lucky, exactly, I was disoriented and having trouble with words and repeating myself. Oh, yeah, and the bad sunburn. Oh, you probably were not a happy lady then. My husband built me an outdoor kitchen in the garage to do canning, so the house remains cool and a refuge from the heat. I set a timer and stay in. Yeah, that's so you go out, you set everything, and then you set the timer for yourself, and you leave and let the kitchen do kitchen things while you're inside. That's a very good idea. Hey, Teresa, what's going on? An unsweetened margarita, but without the margarita juice. Because a margarita will have like a simple syrup or a sour mix kinda thrown in there. It's almost like a margarita without the margarita part, it's just tequila and the water. Uh, uh, and a few friends wrecked entire trailer park. Nice. Wrecked in a trailer park on tequila. Having grown up in the desert, it can get you quick. Yeah, it absolutely can, and, that's something usually this in the summers, those of you who followed me back now a couple of years, I used to put on a hydration pack and I'd go walk on days like this where my work got cut early. I'd go walk in the trails, like in the between the cactus and all this crap, and I would do videos of like animal prints and wellheads and pump jacks and solar fields and all that. And I parked the other day and I just did a quick walk to see if this one utility road was I could go in, and I was out there maybe 10 minutes. I was just looking for a place to take footage, and it got ugly hot, like, my skin felt like fire, and I said, "Man, this is, like, not healthy at all. This kinda sucks." I turned around and went back to the truck. I was mm-mm. Um, for those of you who weren't on my last live stream, one of my coworkers, she went to an audit with one of our operations managers, and they were going to a location to do, and as Victoria was pointing out, the energy sector guys are out there, the linemen who are up on the utility poles with the big power lines. These folks are all out and exposed. They went to a location to do a safety audit and, check in with the other companies, and because we have like 5 6 companies all working together, make sure everyone was on the same page, doing the business thing. And they get halfway back and their company SUV breaks down on a lease road. It's a caliche release road, and those of you from the desert know what caliche is. It's basically it's almost like a anhydrite, and it's not even an anhydrite, it's more like a sandstone that gets compressed. It becomes very hard, it's almost like concrete, and, it reflects heat, and they got broke down on a caliche road, and it was a 10-mile drive from the work location to the actual highway, and they were in the middle in the brush, and the vehicle broke down. So fortunately they had water. Fortunately, they also had phones that were within range. Hey, my mother Spark, welcome. Um, I did some light yard work this week and was pouring sweat after 15 minutes. Too hot for that. Yard work can wait till fall. Well, lucky what I'm doing, I'm probably annoying my neighbors. I'm not even mowing my lawn. It's not like anything grows in this anyway. Um, I'm taking the weed whacker and edging it so the HOA doesn't say anything. And then I weed whack the back so I don't get, critters hiding in there. The two stray cats that I've taken in, they pretty much kill anything that goes in my yard. And then the corgis go out and herd the cats and chase them away for, whatever, 20 minutes. But speaking of my corgis, they went out and I don't know what got into them. They had this brawl in the yard, and then they picked fights with the neighbor's dog. That lasted about 10 minutes, and I brought them in, and they're all passed out on the tile right now. They totally got it out of their system. But yeah, even light work is bad. Caribbean House, coconut water is really good. Yeah, that's actually something people have recommended. You could put a little bit of, if you go to the liquor section of your store or the liquor store, you get sour mix, the liquid sour mix, and basically what it is is simple syrup and lemon or lime juice extract, depending on the type you get. You can mix that into like a Topo Chico or some other drink, and you give it a little bit of flavor. The ones you get at the store, though, have a lot of sugar. You're better off doing like simple syrup and actual lemon or lime juice. Make a little concoction, almost like making a lemonade from scratch. Uh, are you having issues with places not taking cash? Actually, my mother's Spark. To your point, I turn into a vampire in the summertime. Joe, with Joe will turn into a lobster if he goes out. Is the problem? Um, actually, so our theater out here, I went there the other day, and I paid with a card because we bought and all sorts of shit. And then I wanted a pretzel, and it's like $4 or whatever it was, and I had cash, and I'm like, "Here," I gave the guy a 10, and he goes, "Oh, we don't take cash here." And I was like, "But Walmart has just installed a bunch of new machines that will take card or cash, not just give you cash back, it will accept cash. So why would Walmart spend all that money on those machines? Surely they analyzed the cost, right, and said, "This is a good move for our company." So I don't, but yeah, I've seen a few stores no longer take cash, and I'm not talking about, farmers market where all they have is a little square machine. Actually, the food trucks out here and a lot of the restaurants will give you a discount for cash, especially the small family-owned places. Um, you can do what Aunt Helen did, make screwdrivers with Everclear and Tang powder. Actually, that is not a half bad idea, and throw some Topo Chico to mix it up. You'd have to throw something else in there. Everclear and just Tang powder, that'll burn a hole through your intestines. No HOA where we live. If yard work isn't done by 9, 10 a.m., you're gonna roast. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and it's not fun roast. It's go to hospital. And even if you don't go to the hospital, lucky you can comment. I'll bet you were not right for about 4 days because the last time I got heat exhaustion, it was 4 days. And I hydrated, eventually my body was passing fluids. I just felt awful. I felt like someone smacked the crap out of me. Um, like physically felt bad. They said, lady today said they didn't get their cash in from the bank. Bank told them there is a shortage. Imagine that. Well, they started with the coin shortage. Of all the things, where the hell did the coins go? Well, the stores are closed. Well, call the stores. Tell them, hey, go deposit your coinage. By now, the coins should be back, right? Coins don't, they're not paper. They don't like melt away. They don't expire. It's freaking metal. Where's it going? I don't know. There's something sus about that. I don't doubt what you're saying. I'm just saying what she's saying is sus. Businesses around this accept card now, charging customers the processing fee. Hmm. So Victoria, you're probably dealing with what I'm dealing with right now. The the West Texas, and if depending on what part of New Mexico you're in, that soil is very sandy at the surface because we used to be an ocean at one point, believe it or not. The Permian Basin, all the way into parts of New Mexico and almost into where we now have, all those nice hills and rivers in the hill country of Texas. That used to falls back in historic days. Water went from West Texas down where like Killeen, and that's why you have all those nice little rivers and ridges there. What I did, I got a single timer, and I got those sprinklers on wheels, and I set it 7 in the morning, 7 at night, and I got like 4 sprinklers on one timer, and I just leave the spigot running. I had to put a different gasket in there so it would seal and not waste water. And every 12 hours, it pops on for 2, 3 minutes, sprays the yard. You just got to angle, get the angle right. But I get the ones that you can adjust the spray and adjust the nozzle as well. And my whole sprinkler system ran me under $60. Because to have someone install a sprinkler in our terrain is bad. That's a lot of money. So I vaguely remember the day after, but not much. It was down for a few days. It was scary. Well, lucky I wound up in the ER last year, for that very reason. I went out to dinner on a Wednesday. We had a We had another, like, it was one of those professional events which wound up in a brewery on Thursday night. Friday, I went shooting in heat at a charity event, and then we had beers after. And Saturday morning, I was in the ER, and they put 3 bags of IV in me, and my blood pressure was silly. It was like 150 over 110. I've never had blood pressure anywhere near that. Um, yeah, I really think it was. So now whenever I have an outdoor event, I don't I don't not only don't drink the day before, I don't drink any alcohol that whole damn week. I basically drink electrolytes and Gatorade and stuff the whole week just to take that event, because it's so dry out here. One small business I got every few months I've switched to cash because they'd rather have it and saves us money not having to pay. Yeah, yeah, I did get jacked up, Lucky. Not a good idea. I'm way past the age where I can be that stupid. That was messed me up. So if you're Victoria, if you're southeast, you're gonna have a lot the same terrain. Um, if I'm thinking roughly where you are, where we are. So yeah, if you do that, you what I did, I got long sections of hose and then I got the little adapter to add a nozzle and I just cut the hose to the length I needed and put the little things and I could string them so the sprinkler has a connection on both ends. So I connect one hose here and then the outlet hose to the next sprinkler and the next sprinkler. And I just went four little sprinklers around. And you don't have to buy them all at once. You get like two, because we're all on a budget. You get a couple, and then you hold on to the rest of the hoses. When you have next payday, you get two more, and then extend it out. So my whole yard now is kind of green, and then there's this dead spot in the middle that I hadn't figured out yet. We buy and keep bulk electrolyte packets, so easy to get out of whack. Even more so to take certain. Yeah, if you're not careful with your meds, that's something else. That's a very good point, Lucky. God, I didn't even think of that. Taking certain meds and not having the right electrolyte or food balance can absolutely mess you up. Hey, Red October, what's going on? Yeah, I did what you did at a shooting event when I was on vacation. It was a lot cooler, so didn't feel it as much, but it zapped me several hours later. Yeah. So what I started doing in my range bag, because I also keep an ouch pouch and a TQ on my bag, because we have little carts. We can rent a golf cart because we got a. It's about a 2 mile route and it has 10 stations typically or a mile, but you're out in the sun, you shoot, you go to the next station, you shoot, you go to the next station, so you're out in the sun, good 2 3 hours doing the shoot. And I started keeping those Gatorade or electrolyte, like Powerade, the little single serving things that you could just, because they provide water out there. We'll bring a bunch and we'll just kind of throw them in there. I've had a few guys, they go and they'll have a beer after and then they instantly get a headache. And I don't even drink after the shoot. I will wait 24 hours, like, I won't even mm-mm. Um, but yeah, folks, this is dangerous heat in a lot of the country, and, it's that kinda heat that it can really mess you up, even if it doesn't kill you, it can put you in the hospital, and then you have a bunch of money you just spent to go to an ER, because ERs are not cheap if you hadn't noticed. Um So you need to pay attention to yourself, time yourself. Hell, set a timer on your watch, set a timer on your phone. You go out and you got to do some yard work, just set a 15-minute timer, right? The thing goes off. All right, stop what you're doing, put the lawnmower or whatever you're doing down, go inside. Set another timer for 15 minutes, cool off, drink. Um, it's real stupid hot. Yeah. And Red and Lucky are in Texas also. And it's some guy in Houston was cutting his grass and had a heart attack. I believe it. I believe it. I basically I went out with a weed whacker and just trimmed enough so that the front yard looks nice. And I did that yesterday. Today I did the backyard, and that was pretty much it for me. I was like, I am done. That's enough. I don't even, and also don't let the pets out too long. I have neighbors who, for whatever reason, they have like a it's not a Papillon, they have like a Chihuahua and a Terrier, they have like 4 little dogs. When I mean little, they're the Corgis could use them as toys, like, they're maybe 8 to 12 pound little critters, always in the yard. They were in the yard yesterday, and they like to talk shit to my dogs, but I'm like, those dogs need to come inside. And my neighbor has German shepherds, and she takes them in. Like her babies go inside. So yeah, um, don't leave your critters out. I was throwing knives the other day. 15 came in. It's said it. Forget. I felt bad afterwards. You probably gave yourself a little bit of heat exhaustion there. Oh, and Joe burned himself on an A2 gas block. Yeah, that would do it too. Um, but yeah, you want to make sure your pets don't stay outside more than necessary. If you have livestock, there are entirely other things you can do. I know there were local fire department up in Lubbock had gone out one farm. Some of the animals overheated, and they came out with the fire truck. They connected to the hydrant, and they were spraying. I don't know if it was cows or horses, but I guess the farmer's well machinery went down, and he couldn't hydrate or cool the animals. And the local fire department went out with a pump truck, and they connected, and they sprayed down the animals. And then they left, and they came back like 3 hours later and repeated it. So yeah, it's important, guys. Be careful. Instead of hydrating after I am done, will have the camera back on when I'm working on stride right now. Yeah, Prepper Book Club, absolutely. Hey, what's going on, XNYC? How you been? Um, and actually, book club, you should probably drink beforehand if you know you got to hit the yard. Drink that morning, like hydrate up, and then go out with your Camelback. And actually, that's a brilliant idea. It's a good way to make sure that your pack fits right. I mean, you're checking your gear and you're using it day to day. And I've mentioned that before. It's super important to use your stuff. I've posted videos of my jackeries at charity events where we're outside in a tent giving away goodies and drinks, and I have the jackery set up, and I've got like the speakers and a laptop and a Wi-Fi router all plugged in, and we're one guy's working and someone else is making drinks, and we got a radio playing. Use that stuff. Get used to it. You may as well. You paid for it. Get use out of that stuff. Yeah, you could do a liquid IV if, like I said, I'm fortunate. Like my daughter's fiance is a doctor, so and she's a veterinarian, so I'm pretty sure if I was sick in their presence, they could probably figure out an IV for me. But yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Remember, a buddy of mine strapped a box fan to his back out in the shop. Camelback, Transalp. Oh, it cut off there. Sorry. Yeah. Use a Camelback. Hell, hell, just get the Kool-Aid pitcher, the plastic Kool-Aid pitcher out of the pantry, fill it with ice and water, and just leave it out there with you with a cup. And that way you have it there. I think a lot of people get overheated because they go out and they attack the yard and they don't want to go in to get a drink. So no, I'll do a little more, I do a little more, and then they get sick. Um, no, screw that. You bring the water, the liquid out to you if you can't bring it. If you don't want to go inside repeatedly, bring it out to you. I'm looking for gasoline. I have to go look for gasoline for my generator. We're having a power outage. All right. Hey, NYC, be careful out there. God, what a day would be bad to have a power outage down here. Um, thank you, XNYC. And I did receive your note. Thank you, man. That was very awesome. Um, but folks, take time, check your gear, use your gear. We have it. You've already got this stuff. Why not use it? The worst case, hell, I just realized there was um, the canned chicken with a little pop top was a month from expiration. So we have the stray cats that kind of are now mine, I guess. If I can catch them, I get their shots. I had to nuke one. I had to put I put Benadryl in his cat food, knocked him the shit out, and then I went and found his unconscious ass and brought him to the vet so I could get his shots. Um, but I opened the can and I just left the can with all the juice and the canned meat out there. Man, the cats went nuts for that because it's all salt. and they're outdoor cats, and they ate up the meat, they ate up the salt. I mean, that can was clean. When I came out this morning, they cleaned out both cans, and then I gave them normal cat food this morning. So, uh, yeah, if you have outdoor animals like like barn cats or yard cats, make sure they're, you know, a little bit of salty stuff. You can give them a can of tuna, and now I've cycled some of that chicken out of my pantry. Otherwise, it will expire over there anyway. I may as well use it, and I'll just buy some more. Use what you got, and take advantage of this opportunity. Now's a great time. Plug in your Jackery or your Blue Eddy if you have a solar bank. Even if you just have the little travel ones, like the little solar thing to recharge your phone when you're hiking, plug everything in now. If we have a power outage now, I know I can run my freezer. I wouldn't even worry about the fridge for the most part. I can use my freezer and fridge. I just plug one in, get it freezing, unplug the freezer, bring the Jackery to the fridge, plug it in, let it go through a cycle. When the machine stops, unplug it. Don't open. I could probably do that for days if the power goes out. So I'm right now charging a bunch of stuff. I got the Jackeries plugged in. I've got even my travel chargers plugged in. Um, I filled up the little drink fridge that I bought for one of my kids that wound up with for some reason. I plugged the drink fridge in, stocked it up with water, Gatorades. I got some sodas in there. Yeah, now's a great time to stock up, inventory the house, and plug shit in, get it ready. I mean, you got them. So my dogs learn how to use the ice dispenser on the fridge. Oh, for crying out loud! That's the quickest way to attract all my dogs. You wanna see a bunch of corgis run in a panic? I just go to the kitchen and I push, and when it goes and those cubes come out, you could hear this running from across the house. I mean, they move fast too, and, they almost caught a grackle yesterday, and God, I don't know what I'd do with that. Those are the nastiest birds God created, is the grackle, other than the city pigeon. And Bentley and Pepper really wanted this one. They almost got him. He lost a few feathers in that event. Uh, I don't even know what I'd do. That's so nasty. I'd have to bathe the dogs. And, ugh. Anyway, make sure your pets are taken care of. Make sure they're hydrated. Don't leave your dogs out if they're not acclimated to outside. They're not an outside dog. Make sure that you don't leave them out there. Hey, farmer, what's going on? And guys, again, those heat strokes. I put the link. I'm gonna put the link again. Let me get it for you guys. But guys, be careful out there. This is not a joke. And I mean, Lucky shared her experience with us, and how she got herself sick. I wound up in the ER because of heat like this. And I know we're preppers. We know this stuff. Lucky's in a military family. So am I. I was a scout. Like I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't fine. So don't overestimate yourself, right? It's serious stuff. Set a timer if you absolutely got to work during the sunlight. Set a timer, 15 minutes. Get your ass inside. 20 minutes in, 15 out. Don't let your body overheat. Even if you're drinking the water, other things can happen. So just got home from work. My CUCV has no air. Oh no, 82 in West Michigan. No, common sense is not common. Hey, Loretta, welcome. Oh no, don't worry about it, Loretta. It's it kind of a one of those off schedule lives I do on Fridays. It's becoming more scheduled now because I do them quite frequently. But folks, this is danger heat. And also, again, if you live New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Louisiana's getting hit, Florida, all those states. Plug in your plug in your Jackeries. I check my gas generator once a month. I pull it out, get it running, leave it running for 30 minutes, check the fluids, put it back in. I probably need gas for that. Uh, Plug your stuff in. Make sure if you have USB chargeable flashlights, charge them up because the power goes out with this much demand, it may be out for a while. Hey, the dude. Hey, the Watchman. What's going on? I like the Watchman's the little Pikachu guy with the sun. Yeah, that's basically it. No, and the heat can be great, but you gotta manage it. You can't go and be careless. Love and life, pay attention to 5-day weather predictions in your area and prepare accordingly. Yeah, um, it is Watchmen. That's the Pikachu eyes, I call them. You know, when, Pikachu got in a fight with that little dragon, what's his name, Char Char or whatever, and the dragon zapped Pikachu, and she got Pikachu eyes, and she got twirlies. Um, I still say that to my kids. I'm like, "What's wrong with you? You drink too much, now you got Pikachu eyes?" And I can hear my daughter laughing on the phone. So, but in any case, folks, oh, sorry, my screen flipped over there. But in any case, folks, look, be careful, charge your stuff up. If you're gonna be out, like, one of the folks was just mentioning, use your hydration pack while you're doing yard work. Great time to do it. Otherwise, guys, I'm gonna cut you all loose. Be good, be safe, watch that heat, and I will see you all later. You be safe out there.